I'm I'm Regina, and you are you. So I laugh a little bit when I get ready to say that because I told Marty the other day that I was going to start coming on as Regina. Hi, I'm Regina, and you are you. So anyway, here we are, another day. Sorry about my absence last week. There was just complications beyond my control, and I just decided I could not do a show. But I'm glad to be here this week, and here we are. We've got our old friend Lara is here, and I always enjoy my conversations with her. And what else we got? Let's do this. We got the remember to give me some likes. Last time when Bethany was here, we forgot all about liking the video. Did you guys like it or not? I have to judge myself on how many likes we get, and oh, my stars, I'm pulling your leg a little bit, but it really helps the channel grow and to be noticed if I get likes, and so hit the subscribe button. And if you like what you see here, I'm just a little old transgender lady who likes to talk, and so hit that button, give me some subscribers, and then hit the notification bell to make sure you're notified when I'm on or when I'm coming on. A lot of times it's late at night, like on Tuesday night. I was going to work on my thumbnail all day yesterday, and oh, my stars, one thing led to another, one meeting led into another, to another. And so I didn't get done until like 9 o'clock Pacific. Now, those of you on the East Coast, that's midnight. And so, but if it's on the notifications, you'll still get it the next morning. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, So remember to like, to subscribe, and to ring the bell and stay notified. And so this is all brought to you by Ray's Roast Coffee, which I am the owner of. We're a little tiny roastery in Eastern Washington. We have one of the best coffees, so I am told, in Washington State and other places. And we do a lot of single origin varietals. Today, I'm drinking a coffee from Burundi, and this is probably a cooperative. So it's so the milling station is called Gahahi, or is it? Yeah, something like that. But that's a variety, or the name of the coffee is Burundi Gahahi. And so, it's really quite astounding. Oh, we do love our coffee around here. I got the nicest compliment here, gosh, a week or so ago. I was over delivering at one of my coffee shops, and everybody in there is from Seattle, even though it's not anywhere close to Seattle. But this gentleman walks up to me and he says, "Are you the roaster of this coffee?" And I go, yeah. And so he proceeded to tell me how good my coffee really was and how it ranked right up with the very best in Seattle. And I was just so pleased to hear that. I mean, I have long had customers from over that way that buy coffee from me. And so I just think that's just cool as all get out. It doesn't hurt me to toot my own horn. I forgot to turn on the Ray's Roast banner and let that, oh, my stars, www.raise, R-E-Y-S, roast, R-O-A-S-T. And raise is the Spanish word for king. So you can just remember it as King's Roast. And you won't end up with that other Ray that is in Minneapolis or some darn place and is trying to, I don't know how many customers he's ever gotten from me, but anyway, I'm R-E-Y-S, and I probably have better coffee. He's got some cool stuff, though. I mean, his ads are pretty cool. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Lara is back in the waiting room. Oh, I know what else I wanted to talk about. Yesterday, I got my book from Bethany. I've only had a chance to read it. I was hoping that at some point I'd be able to read a page out of it to you. But I see Lara sitting there getting all nervous and excited. And you know, I just want to bring her on and get our conversation started. And we'll get back to Bethany. You guys do not let me forget to get back there and do a shout out for her book. She was a marvelous guest, and I really want to promote that book a little bit. Like I say, though, I've only read a couple of pages, like in the introduction of it. And I'll read something out of that. I was thinking, oh, maybe we should read a page a week, and then that'll keep me going for, oh gosh, 200 and some odd weeks. I don't know. Let me know what you think. You guys would probably be so tired of me after 200 weeks. Oh, my stars. Anyway, I love you guys. And let's bring my good friend out here. You don't need me to sit here and just keep talking and talking, although I'm kind of fired up after missing a week. That's the first time I've missed a week since we started this show back in September. So there you have it. There you have it. I got to go for surgery tomorrow, so I don't know what next week is going to look like or what I'm going to look like next week. I get an incision right here. They're going to suck some brain out, I understand. So I'm a little concerned. So, you know, no, they're not taking any brain out. There's nothing there. I think maybe they want to put some in, but oh, and then we've got a date coming up with Simone, who's in the chat room on the 12th. I'm so excited to go down there on the Columbia River Gorge and meet Simone. That's going to be fun, and we'll report back. All right, without further ado, I don't know what that even means. Here comes my good friend, Lara, who lives in Canada on the other side of Lake Superior, on the northern shores of Lake Superior, the one, the only, Lara West Baglin. Yay! Hi, sweetheart.
Hello. Happy to be here. I'm great. I'm having a great day.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
I'm super happy to be here. I was excited all day.
Well, good. I know you wrote me the first time, what, at 6 o'clock my time?
Yeah, I woke up.
5, yeah.
I woke up. I was up way too early. I'm a morning person. I get up early before the sun even breaks the sky and brings the light. And I'm just up and I'm out at my daughter's and it's just beautiful out here. So I have to get up and watch the sunrise every morning.
What time does sunrise at?
Like 5:30.
5:30.
6 o'clock.
Oh my God, that late?
Well, I mean, it starts getting. You can see the light start to, break the night darkness around 5:30, and
wow.
6 right now between 6 and 6:30. Well, the sun doesn't actually break above the trees until like 6:15. Yeah, but I'm up before that. I'm out watching it come up pretty
God,
much
I
every
just watched
morning.
the sunrise at those hours.
Hey,
I mean, we in the summertime, like in June, which is the month of the longest days,
yeah.
we start getting light 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then the sun will be up by 4:30, 4:30, quarter to 5.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I know I'm up at 6 o'clock almost every morning. I wake up and
It's a magical time of day, but
yeah.
I'm more likely to catch it on the end of the day than I am on the beginning.
Well, we're getting close. It's not that far away. The longest day we have. It's
20
like
days.
yeah. It's still the sun's still out above the trees at 10 o'clock at night here.
Well, that's later than what it is here. See, you must be on the eastern edge of the western edge of your time zone, where
Yeah.
I'm on the eastern edge of my time zone.
Well, like we're
And so
totally.
that would make me almost an hour earlier in sunrise as opposed to you.
Oh God, yeah. I remember last year when I was over in where was it? Montreal. Around this time, I was just on my way to Montreal for my surgery. Actually,
Oh,
yeah.
that's coming up. An
I'm coming
anniversary.
up on my birthday.
All right. I just had mine.
Yeah, yeah. And how long has it been for you now?
2 or 3 years. I don't remember which.
Oh,
2, I
yeah.
think.
Oh, I don't know. This is a I feel kind of really wow. It's been a year already. But okay, talking about the sun. So when I was in Montreal, the sun was up like at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning.
There you have it. There you have it.
I think we were in the same time zone. So like where I am is a long ways from there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when I lived in the Boise area, we would go out after work and do stuff outdoors, go for hikes or fish or whatever. And it wouldn't get dark until like 10:30,
Oh yeah.
and it wouldn't be pitch black until like 11. We often drug home. I still drank in those days. And so I'd be pretty wasted by the time I get home.
I
Uh,
finally. Oh, I was just gonna say I couldn't see any of the comments, so I just switched it over to comments. So I just want to shout out and say hello to everybody in chats too.
well, good for you. I'm running this show, and you need to do what I. No, I'm kidding with you. Let's let's do that. I was thinking, God, there's people there I haven't said hello to yet. I
Yeah.
gave Simone a shout out, but I didn't give Sarah a shout out. And I didn't give Cadence Avery a shout out. Hi, you guys. Good to see you here. And Heidi's Dream. Good to see you, Heidi. Let's see. Heidi's coming up on an anniversary of being a year, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just out though. Just being out. So
Well, that's an anniversary. That's a special
heck
one.
yeah.
That's
Heck
a really
yeah.
big deal.
Well, that's why I bring it up, because she's developed into quite a friend of mine, and I didn't realize that, and I wanted to say happy anniversary to
Happy
her.
anniversary
Yeah.
on your special day, Heidi. I hope I said that right.
What's Stacy saying here? The mask I hold in front of my face isn't it? I missed that one. Oh dear. We're clear back to the very beginning here that I am. So there's Heidi. Hope you're having a great day. Yay. And there's Cadence. Boom.
Hi, Cadence.
And Sarah Showgirl.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, Sarah. I said hi to her earlier. Sarah and I talk almost every morning. I've got
Oh,
quite the, I wake up and chit chat with Sarah for a few minutes, and then I'll be somebody else, not always of our group, and God, if I'm not careful, I'll sit there for 2, sometimes 3 hours.
yeah, I know.
And
You get me you get me in the chat with you, even like on a Zoom thing, and wow, an hour and a half can go by like that.
Simone has a question for moi. It
Ah,
does not come in K-Pods, although I have seriously considered it. If I could find the K-Pod cups that were or that are compostable, and I probably get with Tim. Remember Tim from a while back? I need to call him pretty soon, and because I think that he knows of a supplier that has those, and I could get set up with that for a pretty small amount of money, and so I might just go that direction. So it might be coming. Stay tuned, and thank you for asking.
so I'll do a shout out to Christy and Casey, your two moderators. Love you too.
Casey, I can't. Oh, way better than store-bought coffee, because what you get from me is roasted the week that you get it. Generally, not always, sometimes the week before. Fresh coffee makes all the difference in the world. Just saying. So, did we miss anybody?
I don't.
We've
Hello.
talked to Simone. I've talked to Christy and Casey and Sarah and
Hi,
Heidi
Cadence.
and Cadence.
Yeah.
And Pete's are doing compostable. So where there's a will, there's a way.
So did I
Okay.
hear? So did I hear you say you were going to do a show with Simone next week, or is that you're just going to
No, what
visit?
Simone and I are doing is meeting up in person, and we're
Whoa.
going to go to dinner someplace between Portland and here along the Columbia River,
Oh, that's
just
wonderful.
for a meet and greet kind of
Yeah.
thing. And so I don't know. It's going to be fun. I wrote a thing the other day, and it was like for a dream builders workshop I'm working on, and so I had to write this dream that of what 3 years in the future looked like, and so I'm standing there talking about all the things that's changed, and I'm talking about going around the world and meeting up with you people, for a quick cup of coffee, just to go in. Hi, this is Regina. Let's go have a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of like my dream to be doing in 3 years, is just dropping in around the country here, in fly into Brussels and go see Sarah and Jessica Dean in Ireland, or even Eva in New Zealand, and just drop in and say, hey, here I am. Let's have a powwow. Let's talk it out.
Well, if you come here to Northern Thunder Bay, Northern Ontario at the right time, I'll take you to a powwow.
Perfect. You'll be one of the first places I come.
They have a nice powwow center on top of Mount McKay, which is right overlooking our city. It's an amazing place to go and be.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, on the res there. It's Fort William First Nation. It's a beautiful site overlooking the city and Lake Superior, and the Sleeping Giant, and everything out there. Yeah, the Like, it's
Oh,
awesome.
I didn't realize she was going to sell me Tupperware.
She's gonna try.
Yeah, really.
Tupperware? We
Oh
haven't.
man, how do you know that I'm out? So anyway, sorry. Ah, so what do you
So,
want to talk about?
um, well, I think we need you to do one of your classic readings, don't we? You
Well,
don't have any agenda.
I thought that that was true. I particularly had in mind a reading about, I wanted to read about beauty and how important it is that we recognize beauty. But I did not give um, myself an adequate amount of time to get a reading out. So here I've opened it up to this page, and it's talking about beauty. It's right in the part of the book that I wanted to be at. So I'll just read it and see, since the powers greater than myself have directed me to this page.
Awesome.
So let's just, this is not, it could be bad, it could be good. It starts off pretty good. I've read a sentence now. The mystery of beauty. Beauty holds different meanings for different people. When people are asked to define it, more often than not, their response is based on their personal experience, what it has meant to them in their lives. To a scientist, beauty may come in the form of an elegant solution to a mathematical equation. A photographer, on the other hand, may see beauty in the striking contrast between sunlight and shadows. In a composition, Albert Einstein, oh dear. Let me go back. A photographer, on the other hand, may see beauty in the striking contrast between sunlight and shadows in the composition. Albert Einstein saw beauty as an expression of a greater order in creation, starting, for example, Mozart's music is so pure and beautiful that I see it as a reflection of the inner beauty of the universe. It is clear that every person's experience of beauty is unique. For this reason, there may be as many definitions for the experience of beauty as there are people who experience it, regardless of how it's defined in our lives. Whether it's viewed as a force, an experience, a quality, a judgment, or a perception, the power of beauty is real. In its presence, we are changed. While it's clear that we may not know precisely what it is, it's equally clear that we may apply what we do know about the power of beauty to heal the suffering, hurt, or fear in our lives. Well, I think we did okay with that, picking that up.
I think you were spot on.
And so, you know, you had talked to me a little bit about that picture that I used to introduce this show in my thumbnail, the beauty of it. And that was why I picked it, was because it was beauty, and I knew that it would relate to both of us as beautiful. But you know, there is so much more beauty in the world than just those landscapes that are just fabulous like that. You know, sometimes there is beauty in when we're walking in the city, and just the way that the light shines, the contrast of shadow and light
Yeah.
across those square freaking buildings or whatnot. There's beauty in the darkness of night. There's beauty in the bright of day. And it's just a good jumping off spot for any conversation to start off with beauty,
Yeah.
because the conversation is beautiful.
It reminds me of something when you talked about like the night shadows and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Um, the darkness and the light reflecting off the buildings, and you have the light. You walk. So my wife and I go for walks, short walks, even in the winter. Nope, we get bundled right up and off we go for, and a lot of times it's night, it's dark. Well, it's mostly the days are short, right? So it's almost always dark when we have time to go. And I got enamored by the shadows. I noticed my shadow against the snow, and I started playing, making little shapes with my hands and my body. And I'm over this last winter, I bet you I took 50 pictures just of my shadow.
Interesting. Yeah.
uh, there's beauty there, I saw. And interesting, we can even interact. Like my wife was standing there, and I looked between the two of us. I don't remember now, but at the moment when it was happening, I was quite enamored. And I was just kind of lost in that moment looking at those shadows. And we both got a little silly like little kids, and we were making shapes
Oh,
and everything. Yeah.
right. Shadows are so cool. Um, I think one of the most beautiful landscapes to me in this country, there's a lot of canyons. And
Yeah.
so coming down um, from the Blue Mountains, which are just the other side of here, you can see the Snake River Canyon, which is one of the taller down where you can see. But the point I'm trying to get is that the canyon wall is running east and west there. And so in the morning, there's
Yeah.
shadows coming from the east, and in the springtime, everything on that hillside, there's not a tree to be seen. And everything on that hillside is like the color of the pool table, a soft velvety green because of the cheatgrass that's growing.
Oh yeah.
And it hasn't dried out yet. There's ample moisture for that cheatgrass, or it comes from the west, and so those shadows will get really long. And because all those canyons are ridged, it's not sheer rock face. It's
Hmm.
just a really fabulous view, and it's just incredible. I loved going up. I was on a science project up on this mountaintop doing rodent surveys, stuff you do in college. And I'd have to get up there early enough in the morning to where I could get back to school for my first class. And so it'd be like 6 o'clock, and the sun would just be coming up and be coming at this top of this hill, and I could see the 10 miles over there to the ridge. And oh my God, it was beautiful. What a way to start the day.
Oh yeah. We can, if we take a moment, if we let ourselves kind of just be present with ourselves when we're out and about in the city, people often display uh, that beauty that you're kind of trying to find different ways to talk about, that you read about. Like Einstein was reading about it, was to, what everything about what you read was really, it's mystical. I mean, I see a comment, someone said, yeah, they're mystical, mysterious. Shadows are mysterious things. While people can be amazingly beautiful when you look past uh, to see what they're really all about. What I'm trying to get at, like for example, I'm at a hotel and I've been working all day and I'm in a hurry. I can't wait to get in. I'm hungry, and there's an old couple. They're trying to get out the door, and they're like in their 90s. And so we had to like wait. Well, obviously, we just have to wait. And the people I was with, they were like not wanting anything to do with the waiting. They were like chomping at the bit, and I almost got the impression they might try to push them aside to get in. But when I just stood back and I watched the couple, and I just took a breath, and I saw them loving each other in the most intimate way. The husband was so gently trying to help his wife get through the door and to the landing and then down the stairs, and he was saying something to her that I couldn't quite make out, but I could tell that they were both kind of being funny with each other, because all of a sudden that elder started smiling, and she got such a grin on her, just kind of a little bit like your grin right now, like that knowing grin, or there's a little grin that you get on your face when you're with someone that you love and they're doing something that only you and her know about, you and your partner know about. And he had one hand on her shoulder and one hand slipped down to her butt, and she looked at him. Oh my God, I died laughing when I saw that. My partners that I was working with, they were like already beelining it for the door, and I just kind of like, no, I'm going to stay here and watch these two. They're priceless. 80 years old, and they're being little. They're displaying an affection that's so beautiful. And I remember thinking, if I can be like that with my partner at that age, life would be perfect.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely. And that's the kind of thing that we miss by being in a hurry all the time. And that's one of the beautiful things about the pandemic is we've had to slow down and take a look. We don't have to hurry to go do something. We actually have the time to stop and watch an old couple, or we actually have the time to watch a bird and look it up to see what kind of bird it is and to learn something. And all that is beautiful. We actually have time to do the stuff. And now here, everybody's so fired up about getting speeded back up and making everything normal.
Oh, no.
And it's, don't do it.
Don't do it.
No, because there's so much more to life than that go all the time. I mean, let's take a moment and center ourselves and do a deep breath and watch something beautiful, regardless of what it is, because there's a certain beauty in almost everything.
Yeah, and I just like what we're doing now. Okay, so I've had so many opportunities in the last year and a half to sit down. I've had time and overcome my fears of being live like this, which were lots, but individually with different people. You talked about getting every morning and chatting with Simone or other people that and you have time for that. You make time for that. And I hope to me that's beautiful that we have that time to do that. COVID gave us that's a gift from COVID. I mean, in my strange way of looking at it.
Well, that's what endears you to my heart, because you look at it in a very similar way that I do, is because a lot of these things that we get in life that a lot of people don't realize, they're gifts from our creator. And by always being on the go, always having to do something, always this instead of that, and we're missing those things, that beauty. And like in this book that I read out of, they're saying that when we start recognizing that beauty, then we can take the next step into our journey, and whatever that is,
I like what I read from Casey just a little, so while you were saying that, that's almost all of us what we want, Lara, to be able to,
put it up there.
it's moving on me, to be able to have that kind of close intimacy that lasts our lifetime. Yeah, but we can have that kind of intimacy with, if we're brave enough, if we're willing to just step aside from our crazy minds and get in our heart, we can find beautiful, intimate moments throughout the day, no matter where we are. And that creates a lifetime of amazing things. It adds up. I think about being trans. So my life before I came out was full of amazing, intimate moments with people, with my job, with my partner, with my kids, with my dog. Like you have your you have your pet there that your sidekick.
Oh, mine?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
sure that they're just like unconditional love all through and through, you know?
most
And
dogs. I'm not sure mine's all that
no,
into the unconditional part. Yeah,
no,
he
what's
kisses
his
me every once
personality
in a
like?
while. Yeah.
What's he really like? Share the truth. Is he an obnoxious old man?
Oh no, he'd just like get his nose out of joint and go to
Oh,
bed and won't
oh,
talk to me.
oh,
And like this morning, he wouldn't get up. When
oh.
I got up, usually he gets up, comes to eat. He hasn't eaten yet, and now he's kicked outside and he's just yatch,
It sounds like he needs an attitude adjustment.
Oh, he'll get his walk this evening. He got to go swimming yesterday, so he was happy last night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, anyway, I don't want to talk about my dog. So, I love my dog. Don't ever get me wrong. He has been by my side now for the last 6 years, and we've gone through some shit.
Was he a little pup when you first got him?
No, he was 3 years old when I first got him.
Oh,
So
so
he's getting to be an old
he's like
man.
8. He's like in dog years. That's 8 times. Wow, he's midlife. Maybe he's going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah, he's the same as he ever was. He just moves slower now. For a
I
big
think.
dog like that, he's starting to be elderly.
Oh yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
I
he
think
doesn't
I.
have-
I think I went through my midlife crisis before I came out.
I went through my midlife crisis at 25, and then I realized, well, shit, this isn't my midlife. So it just became a crisis. And then I went through another one at 30, 35, 40. Who'll give me 50, 50, 50, 50, 50? I'll take the
50.
50.
I'll
Yeah,
take
yeah.
52.
So then here I am at 70, and I'm just a young woman now. And look at me. I look like I'm 20. I'm this young 20-year-old who's having the time of her life. And in my wildest dreams, but it's a midlife crisis. 70 is the new midlife.
Well, for us who came out late in life, it's like we were reborn, right? So
Pretty much.
we got a second, third, fourth chance. I don't know how many chances that is.
I think we're all like cats, the 9
We
lives.
do have 9 lives, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I
so I
really,
was reborn when I quit drinking. I got to be a teenager again.
yeah.
That was at 22. So I got a second chance to do it right. And I didn't. I messed it up. But I had a lot of fun trying. I was at dances and I was trying to figure out how to, do whatever teenagers did again. And, there's always something not quite in balance for me. The secret sauce was I wasn't out. I wasn't who I really was, right? So, I still found it wanting. I got a third chance to be a teenager again when I came out. Oh my God, it was crazy. I got to be a teenager, a young girl, the hormones all out of killing me, driving me nuts. And I kind of lavished in it because I felt so lucky that I could have a third attempt at it. And I was going to do it right this time, I thought. But I just made a fool of myself. I remember going shopping for clothes, and the clothes I bought were perfect for a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old. Or, thank God I grew up quick. So I'm on to, I don't know, I don't really like the idea of clothes that are right for your age. I dress what I feel like. I'm kind of dressed a little bit like a gypsy today, so I'm a wandering spirit today. But
Perfect.
yeah, I feel like that. I'm gonna put my good vibes out there in the world and just create magic and be a little.
I have to be careful,
Yeah.
because I will
You what?
dress inappropriately for my age, and then just a couple, what was it, 2, 3 years ago, when I was on the table dancing.
Oh, on the table?
Ooh, yeah. And I bent over in the corset. I almost fell out of my corset.
Oh my God.
And
What?
oh, we just laughed and laughed, and I had spotters all around me because I'm so old. And for about a month I was climbing up on tables in every place that I went, because I could, not for any other reason other than the fact that at my age I still could. I think I was 67 or 68. I think I was 68. and the one place got this one lady, she started screaming, "Regina, you get down off of there, you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna break a hip." And I'm going, I am not, and it was just crazy, and so I got through Halloween that way. And I
Well,
have,
you let your hair down and you were just
and I
being
was,
joyful.
yeah. And what was I, 26, 27 years sober? Here I am dancing on the table.
Acting like a darn fool.
Yeah.
And loving every minute of it.
That's the beauty about it, is I didn't slur my words at all that night. I didn't
all my life I haven't drank ever, right? Since 22, right? So throughout my life, my kids all thought I was a drinking crazy bird. When we had a family gathering or we were out camping and everybody's drinking and everything, and I have my coffee cup and I'd be sitting with everybody else, and I was like the only one who wasn't drinking there. And my daughter, she was like 25 years old, and she said it occurred to her that I didn't drink. And I will never forget laughing. We were just rolling in our chair after, because she thought all those years when we had our family gatherings and everything, she thought I I was drinking.
Yeah.
Truth is, I was just really kind of high on life. Maybe,
Yeah.
you know,
You know,
free and
and that's what I find too is I do just as crazy stuff now as I did before, maybe worse because I'm in complete control of my senses. You know,
mhm.
I always think that I can talk my way out of going to jail when I'm sober, but if I'm drunk, I'm afraid to do anything because I'm going to go to jail,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. But nowadays, yeah, I can get out of it.
You just smiled just like that, and I'm sure you'd win over that poor cop. You would be hopeless for him to try and give you that ticket.
Y- Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't ever have to worry about failing the breathalyzer. I don't
Yeah.
ever have to worry about not. Well, I do have to worry about walking that straight line because I could never do that. I got because I said, "Well, what do you expect from me? I can't do that when I'm sober." So, you know, I had a cop start laughing, tell me to drive home, but that was before Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I think I was like 25 at the
Oh
time, and
yeah.
I had a big old scab on my foot. I could no more stand on one foot, either one. It didn't make any difference.
I have a funny story. Me and my best friend, we packed everything up, got all organized. We're planning a 1 week camping trip. So I was in charge of all the meats, and my friend was in charge of the other stuff. So we had two coolers, right? And it's like 6 hours drive or 5 hours drive to get to where we want to go out in the bush.
Uh-huh.
We got there, we unpacked everything, and then we were looking around. There's something missing here. We didn't bring the meat. We didn't bring the one cooler. We didn't have nothing to eat except for condiments, salt and pepper and Kool-Aid and whatever. So we're looking at our clock, and it's like 6 o'clock at night. And we know, oh God, if we leave now and we race, we might make it back, by 2 or 3 in the morning. So, I mean, we got up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and we were all pumped up to go. And so by this time, we're already tired. We figured we were going to just rest for the rest of the night. And so then we hopped in the truck and we raced into town. On the way into town, I was probably driving 130 kilometers an hour.
Oh dear.
I don't know. I think I was 25 at the time. And so my partner, friend that I'm hanging out with there, we're both sober 3 years. And
You can't just stop talking. Hi, Jessica Dean. How are you? Laura froze up on us there. You're muted. What happened? Can you hear me? We can't hear you. Oh dear, look at this. So until Lara gets it figured out how to get back online, I think I'll be able to hear her when she's able. So anyway, let me get the comments going here, and I'll go through some comments. And so I wanted to say hi to Jessica Dean. I think I did. but because I'm a little discombobulated now, bubulated. Oh dear. Look at this. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. Way to go, Casey. You are the dream. Oh, we lost Laura altogether. Oh dear. Oh, here she's back. Are you back? Can you talk? No. You did something. So do sign language. That's funny. So maybe now would be a good time to read a page from Bethany's book. You know, it's kind of an interesting concept, and so I'd like to read it enough to where we've got a little bit of time to talk about it, if any of us want to. I'm just going to read the little short introduction. I think it's 2 pages or something, and if you want, give me a thumbs up or something if that's what we want to do. She even signed it for me. Look at that. So the question she is saying here, I want to get rid of Casey's comment. Are you there? Can you talk now?
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I had one of those moments. I don't want to say what that moment was, but I had a moment. I shut the volume off, and then I couldn't figure out how to turn it back on. So I'll
Can you see how close to really breaking into a big smile I am?
yeah.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. You know, because I sometimes will sit here at the computer and listen to music, and I always have to turn the volume down. And so then I'll get into a call with Marty or somebody, and I'm sitting there. I just keep leaning forward and forward, getting closer and closer, fiddling with my hearing aids and whatnot, trying to get the volume up to where I can hear it better. And then I'm just struggling for like 5 minutes, and then I'll think, oh, I got to turn the volume up.
It's complicated. We have like hearing aids, and we have this thing, and it's got a volume switch, and then you got the computer, it's got a volume switch, and I'm like so caught in the moment, I'm not thinking about anything else, and then poof, there I think the fairies get me. They like to play.
Oh, so Christy is telling me here, so you left us at you and a buddy got into town looking for food.
No, yeah, okay, well, I'll quickly finish it. So we're like practically delirious now, and I'm driving like a lunatic because I know, you know, we just have to do this, right? So I'm on the way into town on the highway. There's this one really big hill, and I'm passing a transport, going down the hill. At the bottom of the hill, when there's a speed trap, the cops always do the radar there. Of course, he pulled me over, and he comes to the car, and he's looking at us, and we just look drunken, like completely like we were stoned out of our heads and drunk. So he, with all seriousness, he looks at both of us like this. He's in the window of the car, and he's looking at my eyes and, "Speak to me, young man." At the time I was Larry. Anyways, I go, "Well, what can I tell you?" I realized I was going too fast, and Are you sure you haven't been drinking? Oh, no, sir. No, sir. How about drugs? You must be doing something. He's staring at my eyes. Then he looks over at my partner and he looks the same way. And finally I figured out, he really thinks that we're drunk or something. And I said, "Oh no." And right on cue, both of us looked at him and we said, "We don't drink and we don't do any drugs. We're alcoholics and we're blah blah blah." And then I broke into a sob story about how I forgot my food and blah blah blah. And by the time I was finished, he let me go. I think I batted my eyes at him even. So he said, "Just don't speed anymore. Go home and get your food," he said. "I'm going to be waiting for you when you come back out."
That's great. No, when you were starting out the story, you were talking about going 130 kilometers an hour, and I was trying to think, how fast is that?
Oh, yeah, you're miles per hour still in the States. So that would be
Yeah,
like driving.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, this leads into one of my stories. Is when I was still working, we had this Tahoe, Chevrolet Tahoe thing, and it had a button you could push and go kilometers per hour. And so I would always push that. And so I could drive in kilometers an hour because it seemed like I was going so fast at 60. I mean, at 100 kilometers an hour, which is about 65 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just funny, and somebody was complaining because they get in the car after I drove it and they go, "Well, why is this in kilometers per hour?" And I said, "So I can go faster."
Oh.
So that's how simple my mind is.
So what's everybody talking about in the chat? Well, we all have our moments. Having a moment, we can talk about love. Oh, we got to face more complex challenges as we get older. Yeah, when we get older, stuff happens.
Yeah, like turning the volume down.
Turning the volume down.
I think that's what she's.
If my wife was here, she would say I'm having a blonde moment.
There you go. Yeah. So we were just about ready to read the introduction here to Bethany's book.
Oh, okay.
I thought you guys all had a good time the last time we were on with Bethany, and I thought you might be interested in this. So you have to, in case.
I love
all the artwork.
I love that podcast. That's amazing artwork. Yeah.
She sent me a picture too. I don't know who else seen it. I was trying to build it into, into my thumbnail, and when because of the size. Oh dear. There's a problem with the size, and I couldn't get it shrunk down to use. It might have been because I was trying to use it as background, but I couldn't make it work. And maybe next time. I was starting to panic.
What were you trying to use it as a background for?
Well, then, like I kind of wanted it to be in the middle between you and I.
Oh.
And because it's kind of wispy and
that would have been nice.
It would have been sharing the picture that she sent to us. I mean, it's just graphic art, but she designed it herself, and it's pretty cool.
Oh well.
And I don't know. I might be able to find it. Anyway.
You're going to do a reading.
Show you. Yeah, might be able to show it to us all because I can share stuff, but I would have to go find it. And so you might
Hmm.
have to talk for a minute, Lara. But let me read this first, and then you could. Um, so here, why this book is what this is called. I hear Dad's voice. I'm on my feet in the crib. Dad doesn't come home during nap time, but he's here. My heart leaps. Dad is everything fun, but something's not right. He's not here. I made it up in my head, but I heard him. No, I wanted to hear him, wanted him here. Loss washes over me. I fall into my nap. Do I have daddy issues? Does it matter? I'll let my memoir, How to Not Know You're Trans, help you come to your own opinion. This book is also a memoir, but not just of my life. It's a biography of the soul of the world, squeezed through my droplet lens experience. Yet it's everything. I hope it's everything fun and enlightening for you to do the same thing. Your tiny drop of life in the ocean of the cosmos, and time is everything. Oh no, she's getting all cryptic like Ernest and his trans quality. I deal in nothing cryptic, but in matters that ought to be talked about but rarely are. Why that's so is for another book. Every other book, really. The subtitle of this book is How Trans Experience Affirms the World. In hearing about my trans experience, your experience, trans or not, shows that it isn't all a dream. It isn't a phantom voice of dad not really there. It's not all in our heads. We each are a unique, unrepeatable, irreplaceable window to the nature of the world. Gee, come to think of it, that does sound all earnesty cryptic. That's why this book. I'm just one trans person of many. So, what makes that worthy of a book on how being trans affirms the world? Because every single one of our experiences matters. Excuse me. None of which is cut off from anyone else's. We share, size up, and tell our stories to each other to find touch points. If reality isn't that way, what's the point of words and language? Even if reality is a simulated matrix like the movie, we share it. The point of this book is twofold: my trans experience and how being trans shines light on everyone finding their true selves. And I'm going to stop right there. How
I
about
love
that?
that.
Isn't that a great way to start a book?
Yeah. It's, I couldn't agree with her more.
Yeah, each one of our experiences is unique and real. And that's what we're all about, is out here sharing our experiences, strength and hope. We're right back to the old Esh thing, and you know that's what this show is all about. Sometimes I wonder, what in the hell am I still doing? And because I don't know. I'm speechless sometimes trying to figure it out. But here it is. You and I are having a conversation today. The folks in the chat room are in that conversation with us.
Yeah.
And we're sharing our experiences. And it's cathartic. It's helpful for me, for you, for them.
It
And
affirms me. I it, it it makes me feel like I'm part of something, when I read the comments after, and after the show, I'll go back and I can't wait to read what everybody said, because during this podcast, I want to engage in the conversation with you. I can't really read the comments thoroughly, but we're all amazing people. I think we're here to shake the world up. I really agree with what she's saying in the book. Quick shout out to Brianna. Hi,
Yeah,
Brianna.
yeah. Hi, I'm so glad you could make it.
I see Holly's here too.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Holly.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
There we go. We got a hi, Holly. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone from Holly. Yeah. So let's not get off the back to what you were saying. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose that.
I had to write down what she said. How trans experience affirms the world. That sounds like epic to me. I've been using the word epic when I made a little comment on your intro that you put out for us to view. I thought the word epic. I used the word epic like 3 or 4 times today already, and I don't know where it's coming from, but I think of it again.
Because this is an epic moment in time.
Yeah, it is.
Now, for each one of us, regardless of where we are, what we're doing, this is the epic moment of this moment. It's the moment that's important, because what happened 2 seconds ago is already past us.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going to happen in 2 more seconds doesn't matter.
You're right. Every one of us, wherever we are, is invested right now in our happiness within ourselves.
Right.
What I got from the reading, is just that not to compare myself with anybody else, but to just completely be who I am and realize that, we're here. The world needs to just see us.
When we compare ourselves to somebody else, we are comparing our insides to their outsides. That's apples and oranges. We should not, under any circumstance, compare what we think we feel to what we see externally on somebody else, because we don't know how they feel. They could feel the same as we do.
We'll always be a little less or a little more, and that's not a good way to be. Go ahead. Much better to be to embrace everybody's uniqueness and see that beauty in them as their individuality. And like each one of us, as we're running around wherever we are, we're like right in the face of everybody who doesn't want to see that beauty. We're like, here we are. Today we're changing the world every time we step out the door, because we just go out, and I'm a free old lady who's pretty happy. And where'd you go? Well, I guess I deserved that.
I wanted to take a second to use my puffer, and I was just letting you talk.
I froze like a. I don't know how you do it by yourself. I got panicky.
You were going on, and I thought, this is a good time. I can take a puff off my inhaler, and so maybe I will quit coughing, and you stopped. Oh my God, you froze. I remember the first time that I did a show with Marty, and she, I don't know, I don't even remember where she went, but there I was. She gave me the whole screen, And she left me for like 30 seconds, and I just stood there sat there with my mouth hanging open, not knowing anything about what to say. Now you guys are all kind of sitting there going, God, I wish Regina had shut up for a
It's your
second.
turn to do it to me, and I just completely instantly froze. I was like a deer in the
Oh,
headlights.
oh, that's the beauty about live
It's okay.
streaming.
I'll be okay.
I know. So I'm gonna go hit my puffer, and you're gonna talk.
Okay, I'll think of something. Okay,
Yeah, just keep
while
going on where
she's
you were going on.
I have a little card to read. These are my TP teachings. I'm like Indigenous 101. I've been a lot of my Indigenous culture and everything. So there's these wonderful cards, and I think this one really fits what Regina read. Kind of complements it. This one's called Love. Spending quality time with loved ones. Well, you're all my loved ones right now. You're my family here. Expression of love. We're supporting each other. To be considerate and compassionate to all living things. To love nature. To remember that you are a part of a family. Well, that has such a ring to it right now as I think about it. I remember when I didn't even feel part of my own family. Now I feel like I have a lot of different families. And you all here, you're like my family. You're like my extended family. You're like my aunts and uncles or something. I don't know if you have any, we're all the girls here, I think. So, but my trans family, the others, the trans men, the trans women, you're all like my extended family. To remember that you are part of a family, a community, and to the earth. Kind of ties in with the book you just read a few pages out of. Wish happiness and success to others, for others. When you become a grandparent, that would be us, maybe. That is truly experiencing love. You know, you open up the club room here every week, most every week, and you just have a conversation, and it comes from love. And wherever it's going to go is where it's going to go. We talked about before, what do we want to talk about? And we really didn't have a topic, but I don't know. Over an hour's already gone by.
Well, yeah, and I knew that you and I could like talk easily for an hour and a half, and you haven't let me down.
No, all good.
And I guess really what we do here is love each other.
Yeah.
And that's the message that I want. It is, love everybody, even those that we aren't the same as, we have little in common. We will never form commonality if we don't figure out a way of opening our heart to those people.
Out of separation and into our heart. It's time for that in this world. We so need it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this division that we face, whether it's in my country, in your country, around the world, is just ever separating. And it doesn't bode well for us if we can't figure out a way of getting unity. You
got to put up Holly's comment.
What's that?
An hour of loving friendship. You got to look for it and post it.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that amazing? See, everybody in the chats are just amazing.
Yes, I agree. So
I know what I wanted to talk about, just at least for a moment. I don't know if you heard down, where you are, but just north of you in Kamloops, BC, Did you hear about what they found in the residential school grounds?
Yes. And it
So
breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
I sat in sharing circles and with different people talking for the last 3 days. And in our city, there's a kind of a memorial. People are bringing shoes at a residential school, and they're having a sacred fire. So across our country, um, our our indigenous family across the country, they're really having a hard time. So I would like us to just send our prayers to them. Can you imagine 215 kids buried just
No,
like
Um,
that?
yeah. Let's take a moment and do a few deep breathing exercises and send our love out to those who have survived that, and for those kids who
You know,
didn't.
I know there's a lot of tragedies around the world, but that's close to
So
home for me.
yeah, no, it's close to home for me too, having worked for a tribe and knowing a lot of kids, people that were my age that had to spend time at the residential schools down here in the States. What was interesting was listening to, in some of the meetings I go to in Canada, there's people who spent time in residential schools there.
You've
And
heard
the other
stories then.
and the other day after this story broke, um, there was somebody's mother had been in that residential school.
I
And,
know
and
so
so
many.
it's really close to, I mean, in the community that I live in, it's too close.
Yeah,
It's hurtful and um
it's
so
going
I
to
want
take.
to answer Brianna's question
Oh,
before we go on, because if and she lives down in Oklahoma, which was the culmination of the Trail of Tears. Yeah,
yes,
and so
a little
this
bit.
this kind of thing affects all of us,
Yeah,
because it's the inhumanity that those of us of European descent heaped upon the indigenous peoples, and we need to take a moment and realize the damages that we've done,
yeah,
and be willing to face it,
yeah.
and say, my God, how did that happen?
It just wasn't.
And
It's not right. It
yeah,
shouldn't have
it,
ever
it
happened.
is. It's a crime against mankind and against humanity.
So
And
Brianna's asking, what is it? So I don't know how much you know, Brianna, but the residential schools were a way for our government and sponsored and perpetrated by the church to remove indigenous children from their families and brainwash them into being white people. Essentially, remove their indigenous heritage from their lives by removing them from their communities, from their families, at that pivotal age when they're vulnerable. So they were forcibly removed by our RCMP, by the Indian agents. And this went on for many years over and continued until I think the last residential school closed in the 80s. I'm not sure about dates, but uh, a lot of children disappeared with no record, no answer to the parents what happened. They just disappeared. And in our community here in Canada, all across Canada, are stories of people who were in those schools and survived them. So there's a lot of people who witnessed the atrocities, and right now they need our hearts, and they need our compassion, and they need our love. And it's a tough time for our Indigenous family. And just like them, us as trans people, we've been persecuted too throughout, the last few hundred years at least, maybe longer. And, untold tragedies to our families too. And that intolerance, and it has to stop. That's why I love this conversation with you, Regina, because it always comes from a loving and a kind place. And I don't want to dwell on all the, it's a tragic thing that happened. And the people, my people are starting to talk about it, and they're going to start to heal from it. We need to find those children and all the different schools that are across Canada. I saw a map with all of those schools, and I know from personal stories like what you've heard, and there's probably children at a lot of them. So
yeah, there's probably a lot more children that there's graves of, but there's also a lot of hurt that was inflicted upon the living.
Absolutely. And that's the traumas,
scars,
scars.
And so let's take a moment of silence and just do a couple, 2, 3 deep breaths and send our thoughts and prayers out there. I hate that expression, thoughts and prayers, but y'all know what I mean. And send some love out into the world to try and let folks know we care.
Absolutely. Great. Let's do that.
And let's just do it now, and then we can move on to a happier topic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So just do some deep breathing. And as we do that, as we inhale, feel all the goodness that we're taking in. And send all the love that we have out to those other peoples. Thank you.
Thank you, Regina, for letting us take a moment like that.
And Holly, as hard as it is it still has to happen because they're not going to change without it.
Yeah.
And it is hard to open that heart up for those folks, but we need to pray for them and hope that they can find help. We got no room in our chat or anything for haters, and it's important to.
Well, you talked to me before the show about something that happened in Marty's show yesterday or the day before or something, and so that sort of thing is going to take a lot of people that don't want to be kind, that are looking to cause trouble. we need to transcend those things somehow. And I don't know, having this conversation once a week with you here, with your different people that you have on, is one of those steps towards that healing.
Uh-huh.
You know,
I suppose. Yeah.
I think so.
You know, it's about love.
Yeah.
You know, if we love everybody like they say and all the spiritual stuff, you know, there's a reason for saying that.
Yeah.
And so that's what I try to do. And so here's a plea for some help. So Brianna, why don't you give us a way to contact you if anybody does, you know, put your email address up. Do you have a PayPal account? Is there an easy way of doing transfers? So anyway, I don't want to make a habit of this, but friends need help sometimes.
Yeah. I hope that someone can help Brianna.
Well,
I've had so many people that, you know, I have very limited funds in my particular circumstances, but there's so many that are so far worse off than I am. You know, I have what I need. I don't have a lot to spare, but there's so many around that are having a difficult time.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, she's kidding. I got the money.
No. Man, we're all serious and everything, so now we're smiling.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Brianna.
Okay, so
well, it's 4:30 and you said you like to keep it. It's already longer than you normally keep it. And if we start talking again,
time. Oh my God. When who was it? Kim Passable was here. We went for over 2 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes.
I can't go that long. I have another I have an apprenticeship study group starting at 5:45.
So what you're telling me is you're ready to roll to get out of here?
No. I'm saying
you know, don't let me hold you back.
No. We can go till 2. We can go till 5 o'clock.
No, it's really time. I think they've all listened to us for long enough. You know, Larry, you are just more fun to have on here. You know, we've touched on a lot of different things.
No stone unturned.
Well, you know, this is affirming the world through the eyes of Regina and Lara. And,
you know,
and
I have one last thing to share. My little secret for the night.
Now.
Oh, it's too. I know. I want to show my 2 rocks. Where's my camera? There.
Yeah.
These are when I'm feeling a little insecure at any given moment of the day. I don't know. I got them. These rocks are somewhat polished. I hold it in my hand. That's it. If you ever feel you need some strength, find a rock and hold on to it. One that fits in your hand. That's my
well, cool.
Yeah. You know, these rocks are pretty strong.
But you know what I tried to do?
This one here looks like, I don't know, it looks like something cool. It's really just
looks like it's arrowhead shaped.
Yeah, that's probably why I picked it up. But I've been carrying it so long in my pocket and keep putting it in my hand. Whenever I need to speak, I often put it in my hand. If I feel I need to talk with my heart about something, it's hard, right? So I'll put that in my hand and I'll just like polish it.
Well, you know, the thing that I keep thinking about is what I often tell people is just drop the frickin' rock, you know, let go of stuff.
There you go.
Let go of that problem that you have. Drop that rock,
That's the
because
second
it's
part of it.
sucking you down. It's
So
like
eventually, I'm going to have to let this rock go.
possibly,
Yeah,
all
you
those
will.
troubles and whatnot that you keep pouring into that rock.
I need
That's
to. Choom,
Yeah, you need to just drop it
need
because
to
it
just
could
let.
drag you down. You
Yeah,
start getting too many rocks in your pockets and swim across that lake.
down you go.
Got to drop them.
Well,
Can't
sometimes you
hold
need the
on to those
strength.
troubles. Let them go. They're past.
Sometimes you need the strength, and sometimes you need to let go.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of reading of the Oracle Kuan Yin, who was a Buddhist lady, and she's got this deck of cards that I got has the coolest pictures of Tibetan women, they remind me of indigenous people from North America,
Hmm.
and they're always riding on these yaks and white, so it kind of looks like white buffalo,
Oh yeah.
and the attire is similar as well, and hang on, I'll just grab whatever's. Uh,
What's the
so,
regalia?
so like this,
Yeah.
can you?
Okay.
That's just one of them, but they're always telling me to let go because the Divine Mother will catch me and keep me. That
Safe.
sometimes I need to develop faster, and so quit holding on to the things that are holding me back. Is the message that I get from these cards, and it's really interesting, because we stay kind of in these ruts, so to speak,
Hmm.
and so there's a million cards in that deck, a million. There's about 40 cards in the deck, and I
Yeah.
think that I've had it 6 months, and there's probably 25 cards I've never seen because I don't just go through and look at them.
Are they
I mean,
just pictures? Is there a little write up
there's a
behind
little
each?
write up, and so it tells you that to let go or to hold on or whatnot, and it's a spiritual message.
How did you come by these cards?
There was an indigenous lady that was posting those on Facebook a while back, just a artist up by Marty,
Oh yeah.
and I started kind of following her on Facebook, and she was doing this, and so I went and ordered me a deck of those,
Oh yeah.
and it's been fabulous, fabulous. I love that kind of stuff.
Anything that focuses on a good way to live like that.
Well, yeah,
That's great.
it's what they really focus on is the Divine Mother,
Hmm.
and so I was kind of trying to explore with the Divine Mother as opposed to the patriarchal
Well,
father.
the more I learn about my own culture, the more I realize that at the center of it is giving life.
Right.
A mother brings a child into the world. And at the heart of indigenous culture to me is that concept of life giving. Very similar to kind of what you're
Right.
saying, divine mother, you know. Um,
Well, think
Everything about the culture is towards respecting that life giving source energy, that appreciation for protecting, for uh, acknowledging, you know, us, how special the divine
uh,
mother is in the eyes of the creator. I don't know how it relates to Tibetan uh, Buddhism or, you know, that those teachings, but whenever I have looked into them or read anything, I always find so many parallels.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, anyway, people are starting to leave.
Yeah,
Let's
I
wrap
think so.
this
Yeah.
up. Goodbye, Sarah. Good to see you today. Hope
Bye,
you had a good
Sarah.
time.
You wanna put me in
Yeah,
the
I think I'm just gonna like remove you and
I'm just gonna say bye, everyone. Love you all. Have a great day. Have a great week. I'll see you again in the chats next time.
so thank you, sweetie, for being here today. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. You and I will probably have conversations soon.
Okay.
Okay, bye
Ta-ta.
bye. And so this brings to a close another conversation with Regina. Be sure and like before you leave. I Goodbye to everyone who's still here, Simone and Casey and Christy and Heidi and Lara has been removed. Jessica and Holly's still here. And oh gosh, Brianna. I was going to say goodbye to Brianna too. There she is. I do not hate no more. I may not like something, I may not care for something, but I do not hate anything. It's not worth paying attention to. Amen. So if I have missed saying goodbye to you, sorry. We shall see you all later. Take care. Much love to everyone, and thank you for supporting Conversations with Regina. Bye bye. See you next week. Oh, next week we have a guest, and her name, you might have heard of her before, but is Amanda and is going to be in the house next week. So see you then. Bye bye.